I have with me two voters who just voted here in this area, and they're both Harris supporters. In fact, predominantly this area has a lot of Democrat base. But first of all, thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to me. Sir, let me ask you first. How important is this election which brought you out on a morning to come out and vote?
It seems to me to be really important for the world as well as America, not least because the candidates are so extremely different. One highly electable, the other, I don't really know what to say about him. Almost insane, given what he says.
Okay, I'll come in there and pause you for a bit because I understand. I think one of the candidates, I think you're talking about Donald Trump here, he evokes sharp responses from people. But this is election day, and it's a day when one is expecting a record turnout this time around. Have both parties been able to convince their vote base to come out in full strength and come out and vote?
I think both parties have for very different reasons. I think on the Republican side, I'm afraid this time both parties are very afraid of the implications of the other. I think on the Democratic side, it's more justified because we have seen historical record of what Donald Trump has done in his first term, and he's promised to do more, even more serious acts this term. So, yes, I think both are very motivated.
Have your entire families voted? I see you have a sticker also which says I voted, but have your entire families voted?
Well, my wife doesn't have the right to vote in this country, but if she did, she'd certainly have come and voted for Harris rather than Trump.
So what does she have to say about the immigration plans that Donald Trump has?
She thinks they're completely insane. I mean, it's a clampdown, basically. It's an attempt to turn this country into a sort of immigration island and stop people from coming in.
Okay. What about your families? Have they voted? Your wife, your kids?
I believe that they will all vote. I frankly am not sure how they will vote. They take their Christian faith very seriously, and as do many conservative Christians, they tend to emphasize certain issues such as abortion and gender issues, which are becoming very hot political, social issues in the United States, and they focus on those. I have focused more on the issue of democracy and the rule of law and treatment of others, including immigrants. My wife, as a matter of fact, is from India.
Oh.
And
What does she think of this election? And Kamala Harris, she's half Indian.
yeah, she does not really, she's not concerned about that. She's concerned about policies, and I am not sure how she will vote, frankly.
I have to ask you a follow-up question, sir, which is that many feel that Kamala Harris's Hindu heritage, Indian heritage, will make a big dent in the Indian-American vote base. How do you respond? I mean, just by your conversations with your wife?
Yeah, I know certain members of her family are very taken with the fact that they call her Indian. And of course, as we know, she's half African American, originally from Jamaica, and half Indian. But yeah, they feel strongly about that. But I think most people are most drawn to the fact, of what each party represents, what each person represents. And I will say, by the way, to those who are in India who may be listening to this, the accent of this gentleman is not of a Native American, as you may guess. He's originally from
Britain.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
a British accent. Isn't it?
Yes, it is. Guilty as charged.
Final question to you. The rest of the day you voted early here. Rest of the day, will you try and get your family members to also ensure they come out and vote in full strength?
Well, what I'll do is try and get my students to come and vote in full strength. I'm a professor at Georgetown University, and I know they all feel very strongly about this election, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get them all riled up.
All Right, thank you so much. There you heard it, Ankit. Very interesting views and some very important views that even within families, votes have now been split up because that is how tight this race is, with Harris and Trump essentially representing the two ends of a very fractured political landscape in America.